Alright, this is the part 2 of the Juniper's Basics series. Now let's talk about some basic configuration. We have spoken a lot, we have talked a lot about basic stuff like the configuration commands and stuff like that, like configure private, configure exclusive, configure by itself, and now it's a time to configure something, man. Yeah, so let us do that. As you know, that in order to be able to configure some things, we have to get inside the configuration mode, and that is only possible either by issuing the configure command or edit. When we use edit, it logs us to the configuration mode by itself, not configure private, not configure exclusive. So I'm going to use this configure because I'm the only person configuring this router right now. The configuration changes has been committed but not has been written but not been committed. What does it tell you is that we have made certain changes but we haven't committed. So if you get out of the router like this, oops, sorry, exit is going to prompt you. The configuration has been changed but not committed. Exit if you are sick of this particular thing. Then what you can do is that you can exit by typing exit configuration mode. Now you will not get a prompt to exit with uncommitted changes, right? So make use of this command, exit configuration mode. All right, so let's get into the configuration mode once again. Okay, let's set the host name of the computer, of the device, the Juniper. And I'm going to type commands really slowly so you can understand where in the configuration hierarchy they are located. So since we are going to change the system, the host name, it should be under system because it's going to affect the entire system, right? So set system. Okay, where is this? Where is the host name? The host name is right here. Okay, now if you don't want to use the set system, then you can jump to the system, edit system. Now if you issue the set command, you will again see the same list, but this will actually going to allow you to configure many things without having to type set system all the time. So I can configure set time zone, we can set system host names, and we can set many different things like NTP and all those things. Okay, so we are under this hierarchy, and the configuration banner shows that second level. This is the root, this is second level. Okay, so let's configure the system. Set system, set, okay, host name, and type the host name. Raw, enter. As you can see, the host name has not been changed because we have to commit those changes, right? All these changes are being written to the candidate configuration file. Okay, and if you want to see what all changes you have made to the configuration of the candidate configuration, you can just type the command show by itself. And where is that command? Raw, I'm sorry, at the top, raw. Okay, if you type the show command, this is going to give you the changes that you have made, and also going to tell you what other things. the job. Okay, so if you go back to the exit config mode, if you go to the operational mode and run more commands, you can type something like show configuration, and let's see, since we have changed system, and it's just not going to show you anything, because when we use the word configuration, it means that all those things which have been committed. Okay, so those things have not been committed. So let's go back to the edit mode, and it's the time we should commit something, man. We should commit something. Now watch for the error message. What is the error message? You cannot commit anything until you have defined the root authentication password. Okay, not a problem. That is something we're going to be doing next. But before that, I can show you something more as well, something related to that. Okay, so remember, the show command by itself shows you the candidate configuration. As you can see that there is this host raw, and show configuration, show config does not work here because you have to be in the operational mode in order to configure that. Show configuration, there is no raw. This command does not work. This show command does not work in the configure mode. It only works in the operational mode, which is required to issue so many monitoring and the show commands. Okay, so let's get back to the show command. We have made one change, and we tried committing the configuration, and we were not allowed to do that because we haven't set the password for the root account. And before we do that, we are going to create some users. So let's do that. Okay, where do users reside? Users reside in the system. Okay, so set, right now we are at the root, as you can see from the configuration banner. Type set and then C, system, and where is the user? System, then login. Okay, system login, and then the user, and you type the name of the user here. Whew. So if we want to define 5 different accounts, so we have to type set system login user, or you can make use of the up arrow. No, that's not the way to do it. Let's do this thing. Edit system. Now you're in the system hierarchy. Edit. Where do you want to go from here? We want to go to login. Edit login, and let's see. Oops, I'm sorry. Edit user. Oh, now why this is not going to work is because after the user, it's the username. Okay, so you can go up to this point. Edit now. You can type set user and the username. Let me see who is going to be the first user. Michael, Michael. Michael. What else do we have? Full name in quotes. Michael Jackson. What else? authentication. What else? Password. Plain. We can define the password as plain text password, SSH-DSA, SSH-RSA. Now, what is this plain text password? We don't have to worry about the plain text password. The password is not stored as plain text. This item just means we'll be entering the password as plain text and not as a special sequence of digits, right? From the security device or for other forms like hash of the thing, right? If we use this option, then we'll have to use the hash. Otherwise, we'll not have to use any hashes. So there's no need to run things like service password encryption that you gleefully run in the Cisco world. Everything is encrypted. Okay, so authentication is plain text password. I'm using this for right now for this particular demonstration. Enter. So it's going to prompt you to type the password. To type the password, I use the same password for everything. Okay. Now, as you can see, that I define almost everything in one line, which is a good thing. I can also do something like, since I'm already in the system login, let's define another user. Set user. Now, one more thing. Since you've already defined a variable, right, or an identifier or something, you do not have to type it again. Just type M, and it's going to cover. Oh my god, M. Oh, set user. Oh, sorry, capital M. Capital M, and it's going to cover that. Michael. This is case sensitive. So I didn't have to type MICHAEL again. I just have to type capital M, and it's going to show you. It's going to just hit the tab key, and it's going to autofill the rest of the word. Okay. So if you want to type, if you want to give more options to it, we can do that. Let me just create another user account. Set user Peter. Enter. I think we have to define one more stuff. Peter. I don't have to think. We don't have to define full name. Set user Peter. And okay, class. Just type full name. Full name. Peter. Who cares? Now, yep. At least one more parameter. One more parameter is required. So I have not yet defined the password. I have not yet defined any of the properties. So I can do that in the second step. Set user Peter. See? A for authentication. P for password, plain text. Enter. Type the plain text password. And there you go. The password is defined. Now, we have done two things. Let's see what if we commit this. Of course, we are going to still get the same error message, but I'm looking for something more. Oh my goodness, look at this. So we have got one error message which we have already seen, the root authentication password. The root password is not being set, and we have to set that in order to commit all these changes. But we are also missing out on this parameter called the class. Okay, so what is the class? Okay, it's the privilege level. So all user accounts require configuration of a login class. Login. No, just type here. Login class, which defines the permission for the executable commands, which can what commands you can execute. So as users enter commands in the command line, Junos check the login class permission level for each command before accepting it. Okay, so Junos comes with the four predefined classes. Let's see those: set user, Peter, and class. And here are those permissions. One is the super user. This is just like the root, the king of the hill. The read only. Super users got all the permission. Operators got a clear permission. You want to clear them some stats, network, reset, trace, view permissions. Read only can only view permission, but cannot run the clear command, network, and reset. And unauthorized means no permission. So I mean, you might say, why would someone want unauthorized? What is the logic behind the unauthorized thing? But the logic is that this particular user might well be having access on other devices. So he is not he's not given access on this device, but he's given access on other devices, right? So when the user in this class, the unauthorized, the Junos OS immediately logs that users out, the unauthorized user out. It sounds odd, but this class can be useful as well. Okay, dokie. Now we can also define a custom class. So if you need more detailed permission than are provided by the four default classes, we can create our own custom login classes, and we can specify exactly which command we want to include or exclude for each custom login class. In this way, we can create user classes tailored for the specific needs of each particular user group. So for example, let's see, we define the class let me think of it. Set class. Okay, let's see what we have under login. Set class. Up to now we've been using the command user. Now we're defining the class login class, and just give the name of the class, or just type the context sensitive help to see. It's asking for the backup operations. Enter. Oops. What else do we want, man? Been defining so many classes. And permissions. Okay, we have to define the permissions straight away. This is something new. Permissions all. It must be all. Yeah. Permissions storage. How can I turn that thing off, man? The sound. Okay. Set class backup permissions storage. Let's define storage. And what else do we have in here? I think this is good enough. Yeah, so now we have created a class. In order to set the class, we just have to set it on any user. So let's see. Set user Peter class, and we'll see that we have the class here. Okay. Backup op. Done. But I would like to back out of this and give him a different unauthorized. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm going to give Michael super user. Michael class super user That's done. Now let's see. Let's commit the changes. It should give us only one error message, and that is something that we're gonna do now. Okay. So we have defined the host name. We have created the user accounts. We have defined the login class. We tried setting the custom login class to one of the users before I backed out and you know set a default one of the default classes as unauthorized. And let's set the password for the root. Now I have given you a demo. Root authentication is not under login, it's under system. Now we cannot go across, so we have to issue top. First of all, we have to go to the root, set, and this command is under system. Let's see where it is. So this is what all you get under system when you type set system. Where is this? Where is the? There it is. Root authentication. So root authentication, and once again we have three options: SSH, DSA, RSA, and the plain text. I'm going to choose plain text for now. Plain text. Enter. Give the same password. And let's see if we can commit this thing now. It's taking some time, so it means it's a good thing. It does not take this long in the production network, especially if you're using the Cisco. This is actually Junos 3, so you have to bear with this. It's still committing. As you can see that we have the encrypted password as well. When you use this, we have to type the hash. Whew. This is taking a little longer than what I thought it would. Come on. Normally it does not take this long. Oh, finally. Ooh. So you can see that we have got the commit complete, which is a good thing. Now type show. Now show will not now show you all those things which have been committed and uncommitted. Okay. If you get out of this here, oh yes, one more thing, very important. The show command will give you output depending upon the CLI, depending upon the hierarchy you are in. So if you run show command under login, it's only going to give you the information about all the changes that have been made under that login. So if I back out, see, there is no information about the host name here, is it? No, right? It's there, it's changed, but there's no information. Now I am back to the system level. Let's run the show command again. Enter. Now you will see show command here. How cool is that? I'm sorry. So it's give you information as per the hierarchy you are in. And if you do not want these common secret data and stuff like that, then you can run this show no comment. I guess no comment. Nope. We'll see. Okay. So if we back out one more level and then run the show command, and it's going to show you everything, which is very much similar to this one, because so under the system we have configured the host name. Now the root authentication is the main container under which we have configured this password, and similarly the login is a container. Under the login we have the class, the backup ops, and we have configured storage and the user Michael, and under that we have defined 4 leaves, 3 leaves in fact. Michael Jackson UID. Okay, this is the thing which actually talks about the user. If you want to send a message to something such to a user, then you can make use of its UID as opposed to the full name, and this is automatically defined, automatically generated by the system. You can however do that yourself if you want to. Let's see if we can do it. Set system login uh, user Peter UID. Currently the UID is 2000. I'm going to give it 2500. Enter. Commit. Let's see. This thing should, as you can see, it gives a warning as well. But that's okay. Warning complete. Now the best practice is to make sure, or rather to strengthen the security, we should only allow, we should only allow root access from the console. Okay, root access from the telnet is denied by default, and it can never work. From SSH it can work, but we should not configure it. Right? We can create another account, like some, and give it the super user privileges, but we should not make use of the root account. Your account actually should be used for disaster recovery situation. So how can we deny SSH, how we can deny access to the client using the root account, especially when we are using the SSH. So let's see. Okay, set system and SSH is a service. Service SSH, right? Again, root login, ROOT, allow, deny. Okay, we can strengthen the security by allowing root access from the console port. Thank God it took only a few seconds this time around. Okay, now let's talk about domain name. Okay, so we are in the root right now. Let's go to setting. Let's go to system. Okay, and now set. Where is the domain name? Where is it? Show me. Domain name. Domain name. Okay, define the domain name. cjtutorialspace.com. It doesn't exist, by the way. And hit enter. Domain name it is. So I'm actually configuring few things here just to build a topology before we run a hell lot of show commands and show the pipe, which is a huge thing in Junos world, and you're gonna love it absolutely. I'm gonna get back to the configuration more stuff, but right now we have to understand the commit command. We have committed we have committed few changes, but we haven't got under the skin of this command commit. So now, having defined one configuration, I am going to talk about commit. Let's see, you will going to like this thing a lot. Let's talk about commit by itself. So we have commit and quit. Quit to the operational mode. Commit at means we have to schedule a commit for a future time. Check, confirmed, and comment. Comment is just like, message to write in the commit log. That's okay. Let's talk about commit. Okay. So basically, so the commit command is actually required. We all know that is required to execute the changes that we have just made on the router. Okay. So before finalizing the changes, so when we issue the commit, when you type the commit, you saw that we got an error message, right? So before finalizing the change over, the software checks for certain statements within the candidate and perform other validation. So it tried to perform some checks on the candidate configuration and found out that we didn't have the root authentication. So it also checks for the possibly other error issues and try correcting those. Okay, so the candidate becomes active after passing through the validation check. The candidate configuration becomes the active configuration. If you can see this, this becomes this and is stored. Okay, and where is it saved? Let me bring up this guy. It is saved in the config Juniper conf gz file. All right, so every time you hit commit, another file is created and the number is appended. Okay, so when the activation is done, we see the commit complete message, right? And I'm going to talk about this thing as well. So which the the complete message, which indicates that all the changes that we have, that the configuration statement of our candidate are now operating as the active configuration of a device. Important thing, the active configuration file and the last 3 rollback configuration files are saved in the active, and the last 3 committed changes are saved in this file, config directory. Okay, so the device saves the remainder of the changes to the var/db file. Okay, and we have to note that the configuration, the active configuration file is named as Juniper. We all know that, and the rollback file names are named from juniper.conf.1 through juniper.conf.49. So there are 49 files. So 0 to 3 in config, and others from 4 to 49 are in. So we have 49 saved configurations. We are going to be talking more about this thing. Don't worry about it. So much so for the basic commit thing. Now let's talk about check. Commit check. So what does this command do? So when the changes are ready, or the time whenever we want to make changes, we use the commit check to find out whether the CLI understands everything we have entered. This actually runs a validation check on all the configuration changes that we have made. The system verifies the logic and completeness of our new configuration entries without activating any changes. The changes are not activated, only validated. Right? If there are a few discrepancies, it will be shown on the screen, and you are given an option to correct those changes. So if the CLI finds a problem, it lets you know. Okay. Now things get even better with this command. This is an absolute beauty of a command. Commit confirm. Suppose you are actually configuring a remote Cisco device and you have made some changes, and you, after making those changes, you lock yourself out, and that particular device is located, in other part of the world, and there is no access to it. The the local networking guys would come the next day, and you have brought the network down. Phew. So in order to save yourself from that situation, the commit confirm command is there at your disposal. So commit confirm command is better choice because it saves you from requiring the physical access to the box in case your changes accidentally isolate the device. Right. So remember that if you don't commit, if we don't configure our changes within 10 minutes, so when we issue this command without any more arguments, what it does that it runs the commit check in order to validate it, and it in once the configuration is checked, it implements the changes, but only for 10 minutes, which is the default value. After that, it rolls back to the current active configuration. Right. Once again, it runs the commit check to check the validity of the configured commands, and it implements the changes, but only for 10 minutes. So you get into a situation where you are configuring some security parameters, some security settings on a remote device. You implemented the changes were accepted, but those changes logged you out. Now you want to get back to the router. How you can do that? In Junos, you can, by making use of the commit confirm command. This is highly recommended for people who are working on remote devices. So if you want to make use of a different time, sorry, if you want to bring the time down from 10 minutes to something else, just type it. So for example, 2 minutes. I'm going to type this 1 minute. Commit confirm 1. And let's see what happens. It's going to first run the commit check, commit the things, and it's going to say the commit confirmed will be rolled back in 1 minute. So if you are satisfied with the changes that you have made, you have to issue the commit command once again, but without the confirmed this time around. So let's see. I'm just waiting for this guy. One minute appearing to be too long. Has it rolled back? I think we already done 1 minute, right? It hasn't shown on the console, but I think we have rolled back. Let's see. Show, and then compare. Okay, we'll see, no problem. Let's talk about one command called the compare. This is a filter which is used after the pipe. Okay, the compare filter compares the candidate configuration which we edit with either the current configuration or any configuration file. So if you have a for example, if you uh, have a configuration file on exported in the TFTP server or something like that, and you want to configure that with the current candidate configuration, you can do that by making use of the compare command. Okay, so let's see, let's run this command, show compare configure will be rolled back less than 1 minute. I'm not sure why is this showing this 1 minute thing time and again. It should be. Is the battery down or what? Let's see, commit. Okay, now, yeah. Okay, this command will gonna keep showing up. I'm not sure this is the problem with the build or something like that, because it never shows on my production network. This command is gonna keep showing up till you have actually committed the changes, because you wanted to first see whether the committed changes is gonna pose any problem or not. So it didn't. It rolled back silently, and now it started giving a prompt to commit those changes. Okay, so if you want to see what exactly you have changed, let me just add a new user. Set login user, mm, what? Lincoln. Authentication, password, class operator. Okay, and now we want to see what all has been changed. Only three things. The plus sign. The plus sign indicates what all changes are there in the candidate, but not in the active configuration. In the active configuration, it's not there, it's not there, this is not there. The plus sign. The minus sign says what is in the in the active configuration, but not in the file. If you were to compare it with the file. Okay, so if you want to commit this thing now and run this command again, show compare, it's not going to show you anything because we haven't configured anything. Let's see, it's not going to show you anything now because there's nothing to compare with. Everything that you have changed has been implemented, right? So this is the compare command. Okay, let's see what else can we do here. Let me just go through my task list. Okay, let's get back to the commit thing after the command. So what happens when there are multiple users are logged into the CLI? We've already seen configure private, and configure exclusive. But let's talk about from the perspective of committing the configuration. So up to 32 users can be in the configuration mode simultaneously, and they all can be making changes to the configuration. So all changes made by all the users are visible to everyone editing the configuration. The changes only become visible as soon as the user uh, enters the configuration and commits it. Okay, when any of the user editing the configuration issues a commit command, all the changes made by all the users are checked, commit check, and activated. Okay, all the changes gets activated. Now talk about scheduling the changes. So we can schedule when we want our candidate configuration to become active, and this is possible using commit at. Okay, so let's talk about the syntax of this command. Commit at. This is not going to show you the syntax, but I can show you here. Let me see. Let me just recall the syntax for date and time. I think this is, let's see, today is, first of all, quotations 2000, no, 2013, and what month is it? 9th, and what date is 18. Give a space, and right now it's 9:30 p.m. So say 22, not 22, 9 21 32 00. Yeah. Okay. 21 32 00 is like under 2 minutes. September, right? Yeah, it's September. Okay. Okay, since we are going to commit the configuration changes on a specific time, and we have not yet checked the configuration, so what happens is that the commit check is performed immediately. So it has already done that, right? When we issue the commit at configuration mode command. So if the result of the check is successful, then the current user is logged out. As you can see, I am back to the CLI, the operational mode. I'm just waiting for the clock to tick over 32. The changes will be committed. It's gonna show some message on the screen, man. It's not good. Anyways, I think it must have implemented the changes by now. Let's see. Let's log into this. Edit. Show. Changes have been committed because this has not yielded any output. Right? The changes were implemented as per the configuration here. Otherwise, this would have shown something. This would have shown this thing again. See, it showed up here, and then no, hold on a second. I already committed it, but let me just try creating another user just to show you. Class operator ABC XYZ. Oh man. ABC set login. Oh, set system login user ABC authentication plain text password. Oh, that's my password. It's always been like this. Oh my god, people come to know what it. What the heck is this, man? Set system login ABC authentication plane that was the error configuration database logged by hmm. Okay. Show exit show system uptime. Current time is, oh, that is the problem. Hmm. Uh, uh, that is a problem. The time set right now is not a problem. I can set a time, set date. Today is 2013/09 month 18, and the time is, if I wanted to commit it at 9:32, so let's make it 9:30 now. 9, oh, sorry, 1:18. Oops. Okay, date is done. Hour is 21, and minutes is 31.00. Okay, hold on. Set date 2013, month 09, date 18, 21, minutes 00, second 00. Set let's see, and time 2013. Stands for month, so it's 09, ninth month running, and date is 20. Date is 18. Hour is 21. Minutes is 30 and 00. Should work, man. Can't assign requested address. Okay, it took the values. Date can't assign requested address. Why didn't it say this thing? And show the uptime. I took it, man. Now it should work. At 2013, I have set the date, and it should work. Let's keep this thing uptime. This is a pretty good command. System uptime. It shows the time. It shows the uptime. The when the this thing was rebooted. System. And let's see. Uptime. Okay, I'm gonna wait till 21:30 to see if the changes do get committed at that time. Meantime, let me just grab some water. this is why we are facing this problem. If the Junos OS fails before the configuration changes become active, all the configuration changes are lost because we would be committing the change at a future time. So the changes have not yet been committed, and changes were not committed, and the uh, router failed. We cannot enter commit add configuration command after we issue the request system reboot. So if we have requested the system to reboot, we cannot configure commit. We cannot enter the request system reboot. Now there's a vice versa. If we have committed if you want to commit changes at a future time, then we cannot issue this command, and if we have issued this command, then we cannot issue this command. We cannot commit a configuration when the schedule commit is pending. That is the reason why we are not able to send, because the clock was a little off. And let's see, let's run this command again. What's time right now? 21:31. Let's see, the clock was off by few hours. Should work. 22. Is the clock running slow or what? 2 minutes seems 2 hours now. Forty-two, 44. In next 10 seconds we should have the configuration committed. 51, 52, 53, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I'm counting faster. 7, 8. Now the configuration should be committed. Let's see, let's enter this. No, it's still not committed. Users currently editing the configuration root. It's still not committed. Can we issue the command commit? No. Oof. The clock is off. Show system time. Show system uptime. I thought I give the right time. It's not committing any changes. This seems to be fine. And there is must schedule at least 1 minute in future. Current time is this. Let's see if we can change this to 35. Nope, nope, nope. It's not gonna work. And we cannot do anything about it. So let's save. Let's save xyz dot txt. Okay, this is done. And we cannot roll back as well. Roll back 0. Nope. The whole configuration is now entered into a read-only state. No other commit can be performed until the schedule commit is completed. But we want to cancel that. I don't remember the name of the command to cancel the commit statement because I've never used this command in my never got into a situation where I have to use this command. The clock was a little off, and the clock is although is set properly, but I'm not sure why it is still not working. Let me try setting the clock one more time and see if it works. Set date can't register 18 21 30. Let's make it 29. See what comes up. Okay. We'll wait for a couple of minutes and see if it works. If it does not, then we'll have to restart this thing because I do not remember the top of my head. Let me see. Commit at cancel commit at. Let's see how to cancel commit at in Juno. Clear a pending commit. Cool. Man, it's gonna require me to log in. I don't have login. Oh wait, we have. Cool. This is cool. Commit configure clear system run. Okay, got good, 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 good. Clear system commit. No system commit schedule. If no system is scheduled, then it should commit the changes. Yes, it. Oh my! This. Oh, it committed now. Miraculously, it committed the changes. That is why it says there's no system committed. Whew! The clock was off, and then actually created a lot of issues. Man. Whew. Okay, let's move on. Let's create another user account. I would like to create edit, go to the user xyz. Okay, I have created it. Now I would like to comment. But before that, I would like to define some comment. Created a user account XYZ. Oh, I haven't defined the class. Not a problem. Class super user. So I'm giving a comment. This is required if we want to roll back to a previous configuration. This comment will show up there. I'm going to show you. Roll back. Can you see this? So this got executed. Can you see this? And can you see this? Where is my command? Roll back in 1 minute. It should show up here, man. There is a way to show it. Let me see. Exit, show, system, and then let's see. Commit. Now it shows here. It wasn't showing there. That is so interesting. Juniper rollback. Why is it not showing it here, man? I see this thing every single day on my in my office. I was like, what? And why was it not showing it here? Some secrets of the war. Maybe some problem with the ISO, some bug or something. Because I see, I'm like, it should be there. It's always there. If it's showing up here, it should show up here next to the zero. Zero is something which is like recently being committed, the first committed thing. Okay. Okay. Now, if you issue commit again, you want to see what's happening in the background, so you can type the command display. This is a pipe. I'm going to talk about the pipe a little later. Display detail, and then see this is all is happening in the background. Commit complete, syncs, async begin, this thing's done, blah blah blah. You can't exporting Juniper conf, so it's creating a new file. Can you see all these things? Just in case, out of curiosity, if you want to see all these things, what's happening in the background, then you want to can run this command to see. Now let's talk about another most powerful command, another more powerful command, the rollback. Now, in Cisco, we have archive as a feature, but it's not enabled. Now, you won't see archive unless somebody asks you to archive it. But in Juniper, it's a native thing. So what it does is that if you want to return to a configuration that Junos has automatically archived, we can make use of the rollback keyword to do that. Now, if we just type rollback without any number, like these, by the way, 0 to 3 reside in the config, and 4 to 49, there are 50 backups created by default. Is the maximum actually. And if you issue the command rollback without any number, then it's going to run this 0, which is the recently committed change. The rollback command actually loads the previous configuration but stop short of activating it. So if we need to change what's in the configuration, we can modify and review it, right? And then we can already, when we are ready to make the configuration active, we can commit the command again. So we can just we have roll back to the previous configuration. When we are ready, we can commit it. So in addition to archiving the last version of the configuration, Juno stores, like I told you, 50 active configurations, 0 through 49, and we have already created 17 of those, and these files are on the flash hard drive, and so we can restore the configuration saved in a particular file as well. The most recently saved configuration file is once again the number 0, which is default configuration to which the system returns, and the oldest is the 49th. Okay. All right. So if I use this command and then show, and let's see if I can run show and compare this and changes. Nothing, no changes made. Okay. So if we aren't sure what differences exist between the active configuration and what we have rolled out, let me just see. Show and then what argument we can do. Yep. Okay. Let's create a user account. Mm, user account is probably the easiest thing to do, man. User blah blah and password, no, authentication pass, plain text password. Okay, and let's commit this. Okay, so we know that the this actually became the 0 and the 1 became the one which was 0 previously. Okay, so if you want to compare, so you can type show pipe compare rollback with what, with the first one, and you will see that this particular 0 had blah blah, while this guy didn't have it. The one didn't have that. Got it? So like I said, what does the plus sign depict here? The statement that are only in the candidate configuration are prefixed with the plus sign. Okay, the statement that are only in the comparison file are in minus. So there's nothing new in the comparison file, so there's no minus, right? What we are comparing with, we are comparing the already we are comparing this, the 0 with the 1. The statements which are in the 0 are shown with this. What we are comparing it with, the first. If few statements were in the first but not in the 0, then it would have shown this. Let me see. Okay. Uh, let's delete. Let's remove this. Delete system login Peter. Done. Commit it. Now we know that this will now become 0, the 1 will become 2, and now if we were to compare this thing with 2, we should see some minuses. Yep. Okay, this is what we have, and this is what 2 doesn't have it. This is what 2 has, Peter, but what we don't have it. The statements that are only in the candidate, in the active or the candidate configuration, are prefixed with the plus sign. This is what we have, but 2 doesn't have it. This is what 2 has, but we don't have it because we just deleted the Peter account. Are you getting the point? Right? So this is a use of the plus and the minus. This is what we have already right now, and this is what the file has it, but we don't have it. as simple as that. So once we have rolled back to the previous configuration, we have to commit it. Okay, and that actually brings us to the end of this particular video. In the next video, I'm going to run some show commands, and I'm going to tell you more about that. So that's going to be part of the third video.